Hi everybody, welcome to the Scott Show. This is the show we have lots of fun with. It is the NCAA Lower Division Show. The reason that we do this show in particular is to highlight the lower colleges, not the big bowl game. So we have the top 25 show, and then we have this one. This is an exciting show for me. Welcome to it. Welcome to the Scott Show Sports channel here on thescottshow.com. So we do go to Division III first. We do start with a little bit of shake-up in the top 10. Nothing terrible. But I do got to say that number 6 St. Thomas is now number 14 St. Thomas after their loss over the weekend. Now they did have a great game against UW Eau Claire, but they lost by 2 points. So there was that. It was a 2-point game, and Eau Claire, they were at Eau Claire. So shout out to St. Thomas. They do normally pretty darn good. So just a heads up there. All right, so I do want to get to some other events going on in D3. We do have that big game between Mary Hardin-Baylor and Hardin-Simmons coming up. We also have St. John's and St. Thomas coming up later on, which will be huge. Huge. So we also have some other games coming up. I'm getting to the list here as we go further down. So this weekend we have Muhlenberg against Franklin and Marshalls. We have Ithaca versus St. Lawrence. We have some big games. Mount Union against Otterburn. North Central Illinois against Wheaton, Illinois. They are both ranked, as we will get to here shortly. You have Concordia Moorhead at St. Thomas. Whitewater at Eau Claire. We'll see what happens there. So, I want to get to the top 10 of there. I also do have to always give a big-time shout-out to the people, other receiving votes. Eau Claire got 3 votes. Gustavus Adolphus got 2. Platteville got 22 votes. Wittenberg got 34. We love that team here on the show. Johns Hopkins is in 19th at 3-1. Lacrosse, UW Lacrosse at 16. And Ithaca at 11. But we now go to the top 10. Number 10 is Barry. 4-0 on the season, jumping, or staying put right where they are. Wheaton, as I said, they are going to be playing North Central this weekend, and they are at 3-0 at number 9. Muhlenberg at number 8. Bethel at number 7. Hardin-Simmons at number 6, and they got that big game coming up later in the year against Mary Hardin-Baylor. We have North Central at number 5. St. John's at number 4. UW Whitewater at number 3. Big game this weekend against Eau Claire. Mount Union with 6 votes to the affirmative of first place. They come in at number 2, 3-0 record, and of course your number 1 and the dynasty that is Mary Hardin-Baylor. Got to give a shout out to the Crusaders, man. They are just insane. They are doing so well this year. Now, I believe they're the Crusaders. I'm double checking. They are. So I have done my research. Thank the good Lord. All right, they are 3-0. They got a game coming up this week against McMurray, but they beat Albright 56-15. They beat Belhaven 23-13, and Howard Payne 65-0. So they've got a big challenge, and it is the 26th of October. They play Hardin-Simmons in Belton, in Mary Hardin-Baylor's home field there in Texas. So now we move on to the Division II schools. Big game. Biggest game possible this weekend. It is our number 12 UMD Bulldogs against the number 3 ranked Minnesota State Mankato. This game will highlight who wins the Northern Sun Conference. It will highlight who gets number 1 in probably the division or the how they break down the divisions for the playoffs. This is going to be a big game, biggest game of both teams, probably season altogether. So I do want to say that in all of that. Now we do have our top 25. So just a heads up, it is also Angelo State is going to be facing off this week against Tarleton State, which will be also a great game. So West Alabama at number 25. There you go. Shout out to West Alabama. Angelo State, like I said, at number 23. Commerce at 21. They actually lost the game this week. They dropped 10 points, 10 spots to number 21 from number 11. Bowie State 4-0 on the season, jumps 3 spots. But here, and of course Minnesota Duluth at number 12. I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't say that. But we do go to our top 10, which has not changed for a whole week, but it will change next week. Just wait and see. We got Slippery Rock at number 10, Grand Valley at number 9, Lenzard Rhine at number 8. We got Northwest Missouri State at number 7, Wichita Baptist, at number 6, Notre Dame, Ohio at number 5, Tarleton State, who came out of that bracket looking phenomenal, by the way. Tarleton State, just an amazing team to watch. Number 4, Minnesota State Mankato at number 3. Are they going to keep that spot against the Bulldogs? Time will tell. They're in Mankato this weekend, so that will be a tough fight. Ferris State also gets 1 vote at the first place. Ferris State in second. And Valcosta State number 1 for now. We'll see what happens with Valcosta State moves on. And now Division 2, I think, for me, needs a little revamp on how they do their on how they play their football. I don't think that they play a lot of the really tough teams. And if you want to break down by conference, the Northern Sun only has the 2 in there. I did not see other receiving votes, so it kind of is what it is. The Rocky Mountain one also has Pueblo and the Mines. Then, folks, now we go to our football championship series. These are the teams that are one step away from the bowls. They play the bowl teams. Sometimes they do good, sometimes not so much. But it's what it is. So we will go to the others receiving votes as we do. The Citadel, I always got to give our love to the great people at the Citadel. They got 1 vote in the top 25 other receiving votes. North Carolina State got a few votes, got 21 votes in particular. North Dakota, the Fighting Sioux, or the Fighting Hawks, got 13 points. I always call them the Fighting Sioux, so, it's whatever. Eastern Washington at 2-3. Maine at 2-3. The only 2 and Davis at 2-3. The only 3 teams on the top 25 that have a losing record, but are still in the top 25 because they play a lot of Division I bowl teams. Just to give a little insight on why that is. Stony Brook at number 24. Big time shout out to our lovely friends at Stony Brook. And Youngstown State 4-0. So just a little shout out with that. Now we go to our top 10, which is actually 11 this week. Lots of changes until we get to number 4. Lots of changes. So let's get started with Townsend staying put. Tied for number 10. They did play Florida and got whooped. But they are staying at number 10. They look like a good Division 1 AA school. Central Arkansas moves up 4 spots to tie with number 10, and good for Central Arkansas. Really awesome. Jumping up the highest mountain is Montana, defeating Davis, which was number 5. They dropped to 12, by the way. So Montana coming in at 4-1. Villanova undefeated, the top undefeated school, aside from number 1. at number 8, jumping up 5 spots. Montana State jumping at 4 spots to number 7. Illinois State jumping up to number 6. Illinois State and North Dakota State are going to be facing off. That's going to be a hell of a game. Weber State at 2-2. They are number 5. Kentucky State at number 4. South Dakota State, their only losses to the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Number 3, James Madison at number 2. And North Dakota State, the Fighting Bison, at number 1. And of course, like I said, we got that big game, North Dakota State and Illinois State, coming up this weekend. We'll see what happens with that. That's the lower division show. Folks, if you guys want your school talked about here on the show, give us a big time shout out and lots of love. We'll highlight your school for you a little bit. It's 11 minutes so far show. We can talk about your school for a minute. So I want to take some time and talk about the Warhawks of UW Whitewater and give them a huge shout out. I also want to give a shout out to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, as we have a few fans from there that are listening to our show. Folks, I got to say that our YouTube needs a lot of loving, but our speaker.com, people listening up on our show here is phenomenal. You guys are rocking it. We have so many listens, and I'm pleased as punch to announce that and tell you guys that. Thank you for all the love. We do get a breakdown of where you guys are from. That's why I can say Whitewater and Brookings and all these different places. Salmon, Idaho. Got a lot of love there for our Boise State Broncos in the Bowl division. But I wanted to say thank you. Check out thescottshow.com. We are live there every single day. With the exception, guys got to take a break sometime. But, almost every single day we are live on the Scott Show podcast. We are all over the place as well. So check us out and send us the love because, folks, we need it. We need a lot of love in this world. And you can send it to the Scott Show at patreon.com/Scott Show. Send us $1 a month, and it will help the show. You get some perks going on there. We're going to add up some perks. And just thank you. So we'll see you here real soon on thescottshow.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and that will make me happy. All right, we'll see you guys here real soon on thescottshow.com.